The air is sweet this evening in the old Tarheel state here in Raleigh, where acting Prince Biltmore-Josiah is awaiting the arrival of his guests. Several have already arrived, including the various number of the various dukes and duchesses, where they have mingled about the hall here, where a symphony orchestra begins or has begun to play through all of the measures of Vivaldi's Four Seasons, as well as various selections from pretty much from the masters. We open on on acting Prince Biltmore-Josiah.
Acting Prince Biltmore-Josiah happens to be dancing with one of his female aides to the music that's being played currently. And as he dances with the young lady, he's looking around at all of his various guests, seeing how many he actually has met and knows. He notes a few of his dukes and duchesses, and the others seem to be mortals or various aides of the other dukes and duchesses, things such as that. And he keeps very close eyes on the entrances just to note any further newcomers.
Nathaniel, you're up.
All right, and those of you that enter the mansion, this is what you see before you.
So upon entering and hearing this beautiful, like, Fairlease music, and kind of witnessing the new young gun Prince kind of being a baller and kind of enjoying himself, I'm just going to sidelight on in my military regalia in this very nice white leather Russian cavalry uniform, slick military boots, polished to like the nth degree. You literally see two very fine reflections of the young Ventru right before you, and he's just like dressed in nine irons would be the direct quotation. The man has literally spared no expense. I mean, if you're paying really close attention, you could even tell that there's this blue diamond signet ring on one of his fingers. But he's just going to slide right on in and kind of make a little bit of a courtly bow and just sort of slide on over to one of the tables nearby.
As you enter, when the couple make a turn, you see that Jeremiah looks at you, nods, and continues dancing.
Of course, he's having a good time. Why interrupt him?
Mm-hmm.
At this point, Will, before I jump into character, I need to know? Do you actually want me to make a roll for this, or is this just going to automatically happen?
This is going to be an admin fiat for sake of the scene.
Okay. At this point, I will. Mishi, be ready to go. Camera up as soon as I go up. At this, the sound of a gunshot goes. Well, not a gunshot, or like a large boom goes off as a swirling hole opens in the ceiling, and out drops Dr. Ekman and Annika directly onto the dance floor, right next to the prince.
You notice
At which point,
as you touch down, you notice that several of the acting prince's aides had basically had stepped to guard him.
all the music stops.
Yep.
The dancing stops. Everything, all staring at you. And Jeremiah's not too happy that you interrupted his dance. It's evident. He turns to you and very calmly says, Ekman, I presume.
Dr. Ekman drops to one knee and produces a portable hard drive. Which he hands out to Prince Biltmore. He says, "My liege."
The female aide
Sorry.
The female aide that he was dancing with looks at you, looks at the drive, picks it up, and puts it in her purse, and looks at Jeremiah. Jeremiah says, very good. See that it's analyzed.
Dr. Ekman says, on there are not only the the plans to the wormhole technology being put into your care, courtesy of Duke Tyson, the Duke of the Tremere.
This gets an eyebrow raise from the acting prince. Huh. I was not aware he had a gift for me. Very good.
On the out of character on the portable hard drive, when analyzed, sorry, I just wanted to put the out of character bit in there, just so this way it was marked what was on that portable hard drive. Sorry, out of character character note. What is on that?
This get an eyebrow raise? Yeah. As does this get an eyebrow raise from Duke Tyson, who was in the corner of the room at one of the tables where the evening's meal had been prepared. As he was about to take a sip, you notice he stops abruptly.
May I mention now what's on that portable hard drive? On that portable hard drive, in addition to full schematics and technical papers on what is on how that wormhole technology works, is photographs of the check that is the photographs of the check that Duke Tyson provided for funding, but also tracing to the IP address money that was stolen from Marquez Levitolia, and as well as also the text that says "Well played," with a little letter on there saying, "Dear my liege Biltmore, please understand. Please reference this to the video that I left you to your other aide some time ago."
Okay.
And basically, any other information my character has is either on the video or on that portable hard drive.
Out of game information noted.
Mm-hmm.
Duke Tyson begins to mingle his way over to the group, taking a few seconds to speak with and shake various hands, as well as handing out a number of business cards before he makes his way there. And he steps up to the group, though he does not speak.
Quietly, just sidling closer, because this is going to get intriguing, and I'm just going to be silently at a ready position in case anything should hit the fan.
A very uneasy
Jeremiah will.
Group.
Mm-hmm. Jeremiah will see that Duke Tyson is approaching, and he will turn his head toward him and acknowledge his approach and say, Roderick, I was unaware you had a gift for me. What can I expect? Or will you leave it for my surprise?
Well, my liege, I feel that a gift is best appreciated when one is not entirely aware of what's underneath the wrapping.
Well, for character note...
Well, we shall see.
Character note, making a perception empathy, just to see how the mood in the room is, and particularly in close note to Tyson, seeing how his volcanic temper is behaving.
Okay.
While this is happening, my character turns to Duke Tyson and brings out a note and says, "My liege, here is the information you requested." and gives him a look as saying, "You want to read this."
By the way, Will, that's six
Tyson
successes.
nods. All right. The mood of the room itself appears to be relatively light and social. Although Tyson's face greatly either betrays or facades, you're not quite sure which one, the turmoil that's boiling inside him.
Mm-hmm. And does he take the paper from my character?
Yes, he does.
When he opens it, there's a little note inside saying, "If you kill me, you will owe a major and minor boon to Duke Levitolia. I seriously advise against this. Signed, Dr. Ekman."
Tyson places the note back into the envelope as he turns to Dr. Ekman. Indeed, good doctor, as always. He seems to choose his words carefully. It is always a pleasure doing business with one of your superior intellect.
"Likewise," says Dr. Ekman with a flash of smile behind his eyes. I'm actually not, can have Duke Tyson roll perception empathy.
All right.
Might not need to, because Annika's literally put her hand over her face to conceal the fact that she's about to bust up laughing.
Well, no. But the thing is, this is on me. I want Duke Tyson to roll this on me, because if he gets it,
yeah.
I want Duke Tyson to roll perception empathy on me, because there's a little message that Dr. Ekman's leaving for Duke Tyson there, and I want to see if he'll pick it up, especially if he's got aspects like the ability to read my mind.
Oh yeah, he will pick it up.
Good. There's the little hint of likewise. Basically, there will be a little message that's a little thought wave. Does he have a? I trust he can read. I trust he can read my mind. Correct?
Yes, he can.
Good. He will get a little message from my character's mind going, "I know you killed my sire. This is my way of repaying the favor. I trust we're square now, and I trust you'll listen to my advice a little more seriously in future." Oh, by the way, one other thing. On the portable hard drive is also the listed speech that I was going to give about climate change and everything, and why this, So there's a letter on there as well, which tells Prince Biltmore about why the technology was developed, and everything else.
Okay.
And also says, and the message finishes off to Duke Tyson with, "By the way, all the information of everything that's happened so far is with Prince Biltmore right now and is protected. If you, unless you can convert him, I doubt very much he'll survive much longer." And when he reads my mind, all this information reveals to Duke Tyson, including the major debt, the major boon that he'll owe if he gets me killed. Your move, Duke Tyson.
Tyson extends a hand to you.
Yep.
As if to shake it.
Dr. Ekman looks at Annika with a look that basically says, if he uses basically fires a look at Annika saying, "If he tries to kill me, blow the bomb." Remember that basically that look, and proceeds to take Tyson's hand. Does he use Path of the Blood?
He does not.
Okay.
You see that he takes the opposing hand, and he places it over the top of yours as he shakes it. And you feel a message return to you.
Message stating?
Knight's Queen to Bishop's Rook.
Dr. Ekman smiles and responds with, "Your queen is vulnerable." Bishop moves to, and basically responds with moving with an image of moving a bishop directly into position, flanked by a knight and ready to take his queen.
A smile falls over Tyson's face as he releases the handshake. "It is good to see you again, Dr. Ekman, but," as he turns to the acting prince, "my understanding is that this is not a night of politics. This is but a simple night of social enjoyment.
Oh, of course. I defer to you two, at which point Dr. Ekman moves into the background with Annika.
Just the vaguest, most imperceptible sigh, as if I was expecting something to go horribly wrong.
Annika just looks
Biltmore
at Annika
nod
looks
at
at
the
Dr. Ekman.
exchange. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Annika.
Just Annika looks at Dr. Ekman and goes, "How the hell did you pull that off without losing your head?"
Dr. Ekman smiles and says, "A magician never reveals his secrets," and winks.
You may be a magician, but don't forget I'm the fucking Valyard.
Dr. Ekman laughs at that. Not quite sure why, but he laughs.
Anyway, after the brief exchange, Prince Prince Biltmore will call over one of his aides and whisper something to a male. This one happens to be male, and looks directly at Tyson and at Ekman. Says something else, and the What?
Can I roll perception? Can I roll perception alertness to see if I find out to see if I hear what it is?
Sure, why not? Go for it.
Okay, because I'm wanting to keep. Because my character is going to probably be keeping an eye on Duke Tyson for the next little while to make sure he doesn't do any, Duke Tyson and the Prince, to make sure that they don't do anything to him while he's at the ball. Let me see here. Oh, damn it! I forgot to pull up my character sheet. I'm an idiot. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, sorry. Give me 2 seconds here. Dr. Cal Ekman. I need to get my perception alertness. Why does PDF take so long to load? There we go. Perception alertness 4 dice. So let me give this a roll and see where we're at. And no, I don't hear it. My 10 got neutralized by a 1.
Okay.
Never mind.
Okay. But the aide moves away. This male happens to be a little bit burlier than some you've seen. And this aide looks at you, looks at Tyson, nods back at Jeremiah, and walks away.
Oh joy! Can't wait to find out what's going on. As the music dies down, Dr. Ekman proceeds to pull out a pack of cards, and I'm going to roll Dex Legerdemain. Dex not Legerdemain. Dex Larceny. I would have brought a deck of cards for magic tricks, but it takes too long with the immersion. And yup, 1, 2, 3 successes. Pulls off a couple of tricks for a couple of the eights there.
One of the duchesses in particular seems to be rather amused by your performance. Specifically, Duchess Adams. Or excuse me, Amos.
Is Misha going to need to play Duchess Amos now?
No, I'll take care of it.
All right.
I can switch my lower third if you need me to do any female NPCs.
No, like I said, I'll take care of it for right now. Because, like I said, there's something very specific.
Okay. Dr. Ekman, can I roll perception alertness to see whether or not he picks up the Duchess is watching him?
Not necessary, because it's obvious.
Dr. Ekman proceeds to Dr. Ekman in the middle of a trick. Dr. Ekman finishes his current trick and proceeds to head over to Duchess Amos. At this point, I'm actually going to pull a Dex Legerdemain to see whether or not he can turn the pack of cards into a rose.
Go for it.
Okay. So it's because it's the Duchess. One of them got neutralized, but there's still one success, so it's a little bit difficult with the deck. Because the deck is rather big, it's a little bit difficult. But he does pull off a rather okay switch from a deck of cards to a rose, which he proceeds to hand over to Duchess Amos.
She seems to be rather taken with that, and she speaks. I am always one to be appreciative of the fine arts of the performance. I need not ask of the particulars of the trick, for I am wise enough to know that the magician never reveals his secrets. However, I would be curious as if you would be inclined to continue such performances at later dates. I have a number of performances myself coming up, and I would be greatly obliged to have an opening act.
Dr. Ekman smiles and says, "Your grace flatters me, but I'm pretty sure I could come up with something that might surprise and mystify the audience." And wiggles his eyebrows suggestively and nods toward the ceiling at the previous incident as a bit of an indicator.
Oh yes, that. That is an interest. That was an interesting special effect that she pulled off. Then something seems to click. Or was that no special effect at all, Dr. Ekman?
Dr. Ekman smiles and says, "Are you familiar with Clark's Law, Your Grace?"
I have heard of such in my readings.
Then I will leave it. I will suffice to say that anything that I do is based on Clark's Law. And he smiles an evil grin in the process.
And
may I briefly make an out-of-game note at this point?
Yeah.
Out of character, for those who are watching who are not familiar, Clark's Law refers to any sufficiently advanced technology as indistinguishable from magic. And we'll leave it at that. Anyway, back to the story.
Yep. Personally,
as the two of you were discussing this, you hear a familiar voice from behind you. And we're never as beautiful as what it is that I see before me.
Dr. Ekman steps aside, realizing that Marquez Levitolia is probably talking to the Duchess.
The Duchess extends a hand, where Marquez takes it and plants a light kiss upon the top of it. So how does the gala find you, Vizina? Mr. Levitolia, it is fitting as always, though I do recall that those of my days seem to be a little more. What's the good word I'm looking for here? The gala was much greater. Marquez nods. Yes, yes, it is unfortunate that that the kind of our day seem to have forgotten the pomp and circumstance of a fine performance. Indeed they have, Mr. Levitolia, indeed they have. And as he bows, you see he steps back and returns to the gala at hand.
Seeing the mood kind of de-escalating a little bit, Nathaniel's actually going to return to his seat and actually seem to be legitimately chugging down a whiskey sour like, I wish I could feel this right now. Okay. Very tense moment, and then he sort of masters himself after a little bit. But you actually saw the mask kind of crack a little bit for just a brief second. Alright. And he basically just kind of straightens up his posture and kind of, like I said, regains his control. Just sort of trying to blot out the little beads of bloody perspiration.
By the way, I was going to make a roll as Marquez Levitolia was passing away. I need to make sure that I actually did this successfully. Yep, 1 success. Could you roll a perception alertness for Marquez against 1 success, please?
All right, sure can. Stand by.
I don't think anyone else noticed it, but I want to make sure that Marquez figures it out either way.
Nope, not a clue.
Okay. He will later find.
Oh,
He will later find a note in his pocket that I pulled a sleight of hand for, which basically says to Marquez, which basically says, "It's in the end game now. I think we've got Duke Tyson." Signed, Dr. Ekman.
Actually, as he begins to step away, he stops short and he turns his head to you, Mr. Ekman. Dr. Ekman, a word, if you would be so inclined, in private, preferably.
I hope you don't mind that Annika comes with me. Where I go, she goes these days. And Dr. Ekman nods.
I have no reason to not trust to not trust the beautiful young lady.
Dr. Ekman proceeds to gently escort Annika by the shoulder, and they walk, and they, pretending to go to the dance floor, off to the side, kind of deal.
The three of them actually make their way to a side office there at in the mansion. And you see Marquez closes the door and leans against it. I saw the play that you made back there.
Yeah, well, I kind of figured that Duke Tyson was going to be sending forces to kill me and the actual Prince soon enough. By at least by putting my plans with Biltmore, the technology survives in the event of my demise.
True, it does, but let me ask you this: how sure are you that you can trust this new Prince?
Well, like I said, that's where my ace in the hole comes in. I have the Prince currently I currently have the actual Prince safely secluded away, and I have a backup plan for in the event to move him to another safe location. When the time comes, if the worst that can happen is that technology is destroyed, and also those are only copies. I have the originals elsewhere safe, in a place that only one person can get to, and I doubt very much he's going to make a direct play, because if he does, he owes a boon to you.
Is he aware that he will owe this boon?
Yes, he is. He is fully aware that he owes this boon to you.
Okay.
If he tries anything with me, his boons will, my boons that I owe to you will go directly to him. And I know that Duke Tyson would rather do anything than be in your service.
That's the God's honest truth. And to be honest, and mutual.
Either way, I trust. He left a message to me, and I've responded by pointing out that his queen's in danger. So let's see how he plays this, or how I play this for the next little while. The game is afoot, and with any luck, this will work out. I'm trusting this will work out in a stalemate if all goes well.
A stalemate is not what you wish, though. You want to finish the game.
Oh, no, I want to finish the game, but there's a reason I want a stalemate. I want that man, and Dr. Ekman at this point says, by the way, does anybody have enough aspects here to check to see whether or not somebody might be listening in?
Marquez would be the only one who would.
Yeah, that's why I said this.
You see, Marquez slams his foot solidly on the door that he's leaning on. Trust me, it's been taken care of.
Good. Then let me put it this way. I want Duke Tyson firmly bound to me. I want him third-level blood bonded to me, so this way when he remains in control of the Tremere, he will be taking my advice from now on in.
It's not a bad play, but I do have to make you a button. But I'm sure you're aware as much as I am that regardless of whatever play you make, the higher power across the pond in Vienna is going to have something to say about it.
Why do you think I've preserved the space warp tech, all things considered? I have plans for Vienna, and I happen to know their central location. I just need 2 pieces of technology to make it work. and both of them are at my laboratory.
Very well. Make sure they don't fall into the wrong hands, because this otherwise just blow up in your face.
Let me put it this way. Vienna, let me put it this way. Once Duke Tyson is firmly under my control, Vienna is mine. And this will be a new day for and this will be a new night for the Kindred.
Marquez nods. Very well.
But if I die...
I did some digging. I did a little digging.
Yep.
And you've got, as I understand it, in this little coup, if you will, my understanding is that both the ventral Nathaniel Ashford, as well as the real Prince himself, seem to be on board with these.
Mm-hmm.
I can't speak for the Prince's kid. I've not had a chance to talk with him.
Well, not to worry. I've already got multiple plays involved. As long as either the real I would hope that Biltmore gets on board, but if not, I have the original Prince on. I have the original Prince safely seconded away. So if need be, we have a backup plan.
Here's to hoping we don't have to. Here's to hoping we don't have to open that package.
Yep, like I said, I'm hoping that Prince Biltmore will be sufficiently on our side once he's seen the evidence that I presented him, including the fact that we've traced back everything that Duke Tyson stole your money.
Money is nothing but paper.
No, I know that, but the point is, though, is the fact that the way I phrased it could technically mean that Duke Tyson infringed on your domain. If I've done this correctly, Biltmore might actually end up having evidence against Duke Tyson. This evidence is in part combined with my testimony might be enough to bring Duke Tyson to heel.
A smile falls over the Cajun's face. A play against the tenets of the masquerade.
Mm-hmm.
Well done, Mr. Ekman. Very well done.
And hang on, I gotta get a phone call here. I'll be like 2 seconds. Sorry, I'll just go mute.
Actually, that being said, the Kindred gathered here actually do hear their phone go off. Everybody gets a phone call. Marquez
Friends in the other room will even have somebody approach him.
Marquez answers it. Never told you.
I'll play that part. You all hear a voice. Not all the fish are in the school. And the line goes dead.
Dr. Ekman's face goes blank as he hears the message.
Annika looks confused and then immediately tries to call the number back.
We're sorry. The number you dialed is no longer in service or has been disconnected. Please hang up and try your call again later.
Dr. Ekman proceeds at this point to... Dr. Ekman says, not to worry, I've got a little plan. Marquez, my liege Duke, would you be up for potentially joining us on a little excursion?
To be perfectly honest, I can't tonight. My presence is kind of critical here.
Well, not to worry then. Dr. Ekman, by the way, while that message was going on, I'm going to roll a Wits Crafts roll. Sorry, this was supposed to happen during the phone call.
Cool.
Hang on, let me double check Wits plus Crafts to make sure that I got the number of dice right. Yep, I got it. This is a Wits plus Crafts roll to see whether or not my character, through the phone line, established an entanglement. Oh, yes, he did. 1, 2,
yep.
3, 4 successes. He established.
I've been waiting for you to pull this, guys.
Yep.
I've been waiting for you to do this.
Yep. Dr. Ekman has an entanglement. meaning that at any time he can open the wormhole from his phone, which is currently quantum entangled back to the main tech in his laboratory. Off my lap. And basically, Dr. Ekman says, Annika, would you be interested in possibly joining me on a little excursion here?
Hell yes, I would.
And Dr. Ekman says, please tell my liege Duke, when you get a chance to speak to Biltmore, please tell him that I had to leave suddenly by the same method I came in, if you get my drift. I think we've got some more information on who, and tell him that I think we have some more information on who's about to attack the prince, on who's been attacking the prince.
Annika pulls a gun from who knows where and checks to make sure it's loaded. We're about to have a little fun.
Rolling manipulation science, or do you want to do an admin fiat on this one?
Roll it for this case.
Okay, rolling it for this case. And we'll see whether or not my character can bounce through the fact that they killed the line. Oh, hell yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. A wormhole is opened directly to where the not the deadline, but where the but is tied to the phone that made the call. So a wormhole opens, and Dr. Ekman grabs Annika's hand and proceeds to jump through the wormhole directly to where.
Walt, check your Facebook. I'm gonna let you have this one.
I'm watching.
All right, Dr. Ekman proceeds to jump through with Annika, and he turns to Annika and
I'm
says,
going to go face cam on this.
Dr. Ekman says to Annika as they're jumping through, make sure you have the suicide bomb switch ready to go. We may need it as our last defense if I suspect where we are. If we are where I suspect we are.
Annika pulls it out of her bra. You by the way, you apparently made a new one that's hidden inside a pen.
Yep, I figured as much.
Cleavage is a good place to hide things that need to be kept safe. She says as she puts it back in.
Dr. Ekman smiles, gets up, dusts himself off, and looks around.
So wait, you've stepped through the wormhole?
Yep, we stepped through the wormhole, and she's got the suicide bomb button ready to go.
You go through the wormhole and land with a splash.
Directly in the...
in some very nasty water. You look around and it's bricks and cement.
Dr. Ekman smiles.
And it's tunnels everywhere.
Dr. Ekman smiles and...
you instantly realize you're in the sewer.
Oh, no, that's exactly why Dr. Ekman smiles. He goes, I fucking knew it! And Dr. Ekman proceeds to pull a mental sweep. I'm going to roll willpower to find out if there's any Nosferatu obfuscated in the area. And he's also going to state something in the process. This is rolling 7 willpower.
All right.
Annika is saying unkind things in Swedish right now because she landed hard enough to upset her injured back. 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. Dr. Ekman rolls to find out if there's any obfuscated because he'll hear them splash in the water. And on top of that, as he's doing this, he says...
Men.
Pardon? Many? He says to them...
You're surrounded by mental presences.
As he's doing this, and as they fall over, Dr. Ekman says, I have a suicide bomb built into my system, which I will detonate and will kill all of you and all of the Nosferatu, given the sewer gas in here. So take me to your primogen now. If you attempt to kill me, I will kill all of you via suicide bomb. Have one of them roll perception empathy to see if I'm bluffing.
Well, if you'll pull that.
I'm not bluffing. This is a very real threat.
Oh, they don't need to. They know you're not bluffing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dr. Ekman says, take me to your leader now.
Annika puts a hand over her mouth to prevent herself from snorting again.
You feel hands on your shoulders, both of you, At which point, some kind of cloth slips over your head and is tied snugly around your neck. You've been black-bagged.
Yep.
Some of the voices whisper, David will be interested to meet you. We've been watching.
Dr. Ekman replies, I know.
No way in
And you
hell that
both get a series of blows to the head and pass out.
Oh, joy.
You were gonna
Nice.
you were gonna say something though, Annika. Go ahead and say
I was
it.
just going to say there's no way in hell that
Yeah, go
Annika's
ahead.
going to hear them whispering to her.
Oh yeah, that's right. She's hard of hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Dr. Ekman hears it.
That's true.
And before he passes out, Dr. Ekman says, I've been eager to meet your leader too.
All you get is a chuckle before whack.
Yep.
You both pass out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Nathaniel is. I'm still working on the split scene here. That Nathaniel's back at the. Wondering how we do this.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you cut back. Just cut back to Nathaniel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
You also now
switch
Nathaniel.
things back to...
Nathaniel, you saw Marquez take them into another room,
Mm-hmm.
but you seen Marquez exit, and they didn't go. They didn't come out with him.
Yeah. And in a monologue, I'm thinking the mad scientist went through the damn rabbit holes again. The crazy rabbit holes. Well, I'm probably going to go in search of Marquez and see where the hell the mad doctor went.
All right, you're able to actually find him because he actually heads towards you. Mr. Ashford, glad you were here.
It seems my work is never quite done.
Remember, I understand what you do for a living. That being said, you see, he slips his hand into the pocket of the very fine, the fine 3-button breasted suit jacket that he's wearing. He slips his hand inside of it into a pocket, and you see he produces a brown clasp style envelope, and he hands it to you. I could use your services.
Whatever the job entails, I'm more than willing to render aid to anyone who's willing to protect this city.
All of your details are in the envelope.
He looks down and just sort of has this wicked shitting grin on his face. Well, I just hope the doctor can hold together while I'm on this little assignment. I'll make my exit and excuse myself and get on it.
All right. You switch back scenes if you like.
Yep. What happens in the sewers meanwhile?
You don't really know of anything until you wake up. Sitting tied to a couple of chairs.
Very well.
And sitting across from you is a actually rather handsome looking gentleman. His clothes are a little dirty. But you can tell this is sort of a walled off section that is much cleaner than what you ended than where you started. And you can see that all around you are several less nice looking individuals. And the nice-looking gentleman straightens up a little bit and says, "Ah, Ekman, Bergstrom. Welcome to my humble abode."
Dr. Ekman smiles and says, "I assume you're looking for information?"
No, my dear boy, not at all. I know there are those among my children, and he looks at the uglier ones arranged around you, who have decided to turn against me. I know full well. We're tracking them. We know sort of their locations. But I'm actually curious why they're doing this. So I've let them go for now. I've let them do their thing. But I assure you, our network is safe.
Oh, of course.
You know the right places to go. Tell you what. He snaps his fingers, and one of the uglier people walks over and hands both of you a card. That you may start there. You won't get everything because only I get everything. But that will help. If you need something, call. If you need to tell us something, that email will work. Keep in touch. Now,
Dr.
was there
Ekman smiles.
something you need to say?
Dr. Ekman smiles and says, "I believe that there might be a way to repay you for this kindness," as he smiles.
He chuckles at it. Go on.
Well, provided the word of this does not get back to Duke Tyson, the person who I believe I've already got in the final stages of a rather complicated chess game, I'm willing to permit. I'm willing to break a. I'm willing to do something that no Tremere has ever done before.
He raises an eyebrow. Really?
What would I say if I gave your clan, or you
Speak.
specifically? What would you say if I gave you specifically information about a very rare, about a capability very rare even among my people?
Go on.
Dr. Ekman, while still tied to the chair, I'm going to remove.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to roll willpower for this?
Wait. What are you doing?
Has the Primogen stood up from his throne by any chance?
If you can call it a throne, no.
Okay.
It's
Dr.
a chair
Ekman
like the one you're sitting in.
Basically, Dr. Ekman rolls and is going to levitate the chair up by a couple of inches and drop it back down on the ground again.
Well done.
And that's 2 successes. He only needs to. Dr. Ekman only needs to roll a little bit just to levitate the chair a little bit and drop it back down again. I'm willing to teach you that.
You get about half an inch.
Yeah. Well, half an inch is all I need.
You get about half an inch. It picks him up, and it drops it back, and he goes, a neat trick.
Dr. Ekman says,
and he snaps his fingers, and four guys converge on your location and lift you about 3 feet. I can do it too.
Dr. Ekman says,
But I understand. what you're meaning.
Dr. Ekman says, that capability allows me to do movement of the mind up to half a ton. I'd be willing to teach you that in addition, so you could be half a mile away while you're using it. Never need even use obfuscate to be in the area for high auspex users?
His face is completely blank. You will not be able to read him.
I'm not planning to read him. I've just made him an offer. Let's see what he says.
Okay. We'll keep in touch. And he turns to Miss Bergstrom. Now, Miss Bergstrom. And he looks at her directly, so that she could read lips.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Miss Bergstrom, have you anything to say?
Not at the moment.
Very well. Then I believe our business is concluded. As I said, contact that number, email that address, whatever you have need of, and we will consider it. Now, if you'll excuse me, he waves a hand, and the bags go back over your head, and whack!
Actually, I do need to retcon that momentarily. Check your Facebook.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. Rolling back. I just saw the message there. Yeah. Okay.
Whoopsie.
Yep.
All right. Oh, in other words, me make the offer to him to do it?
Yeah. Okay. As David is speaking, as David is attempting to finish his conversation here with you, you see one of the other Nosferatu lean into him. And it's loud enough that you can hear it. Obviously, Annika, your hard of hearing prevents you from doing so, but he speaks. What of Tyson?
That is a good point, son. I'll make the request. He might be able to do it. He steeples his fingers on his chin to Cal. Tell me, Dr. Ekman, you can get in with this Tyson, yes?
I have a method of getting close to him. He and I are currently at odds with each other, but I'm currently trying to actually have him. I'm trying to bring him firmly back under my control.
See that he is offed, and I will owe you a boon. See that he is dust, and I will owe you a boon.
Dr. Ekman smiles and says, "That may be actually more achievable than we realized, if depending on how the current acting prince reacts to the information I've provided him. He's already got a charge against him for violating domain, and I've backed up the evidence to prove it."
Annika glances at Dr. Ekman, and if the acting prince doesn't, I'm certain that with some more evidence, the reigning prince will.
Well, why do you think I should be caught?
And should that fail, I have personal reasons for wanting to see Tyson offed anyway.
We've got basically we've got multiple, as you can see, we have multiple arrows in the quiver. They shouldn't miss.
Nobody calls the Valyard a tinker toy.
Dr. Ekman smiles. I understand. Very well. I will change my plan from blood bonding Tyson to completely offing him.
David raises his eyebrow at the Valyard comment and just stares at Bergstrom.
It's a Doctor Who reference.
My dear, calling yourself the Valyard means you also wish to see him dead. And looks at Ekman. He knows Doctor Who.
Yep. Dr. Ekman smiles and says, "Hey, sooner or later, I had planned that sooner or later my demise might be met. Why do you think I've had that suicide bomb ready to go ever since I arrived here? It was a just-in-case measure in case something went wrong. I'm glad we don't need it."
For the moment, anyway, Dr. Ekman is serving multiple purposes.
Oh, something comes to mind, Doctor. I'd like to apologize for the bug that one of my men planted in your lab.
Oh, so that explains how Duke Tyson knew what I was up to.
Oh?
Well, Duke Tyson figured out that the prince is currently stashed in a secret location of mine, but he knows where it is. So I suspect that Duke Tyson's been listening in on your bugs.
He turns to one of the ones closest to him and says, "Add that to the list." And the female who happens to be on his right takes out a phone and types something up and puts it away. Well, another option. We could assist in with the little quest I've given you if you happen to need it.
Yeah, well, I would be more than willing to. I'd be more than willing to grab any assistance possible. As for the rogue ones, who've been pulling this kind of chicanery, shall we say, once they've been dealt with, I might be willing to. Remember how you put a bug in? You put a bug in my lab presumably with the hopes of trying to find out more about my space warp technology, right?
Our secrets are not to be divulged. I will not tell you why I put it there.
Well,
Simply that I put it there.
Let me rephrase that. If that's the reason you put that there, I am more than willing to share the technology with you. The full schematics, that is.
Perhaps. Perhaps later. When we grow to trust each other a bit more.
Very well.
I don't want you giving that away to just anyone.
Oh, no, of course
telling
not.
whose hands it might fall into.
Well, of course, that's why the only other copy besides mine is in Biltmore's hands. And I've been making some improvements upon it. So, not everything's in there.
He turns to that same hideous-looking female that he turned to before, and she just, without him saying anything, she just nods, takes out her phone, and types again and puts it away. Biltmore. We shall see.
Yep. With this, Dr. Ekman says, "Now, by the way, may I untie myself from this chair, or do you prefer that I,
We can't have you running around my domain unhindered.
Very well.
If you're released, we will do it, and we will escort you."
Very well. And Dr. Ekman says,
At this, he snaps his fingers, and two people actually will come over, untie your hands, but not your feet.
Dr. Ekman proceeds.
For both of you.
Dr. Ekman proceeds to flex his hands a little bit. And I'm going to roll another Dex larceny. And Dr. Dr. Ekman will give directions to his office at Duke University. He will flip a card out, and yes, that's actually he actually succeeds with 1, 2, 3 successes to make a business card appear out of thin air, which he proceeds to hold out for David.
Okay.
Basically says, "This is my office at Duke University."
He will motion for that female aide, that female assistant to him. Yes.
This is my office at Duke University. It is one of the few areas that I will receive other kindred. If you ever are topside, feel free to pop in and give me a visit.
Yes, I remember this place. He puts it in one of his pockets. We'll be seeing you soon, Dr. Ekman.
Dr. Ekman smiles and proceeds to put his...
Anything else?
Unless there's... I don't believe there's anything else. Annika, was there anything we wanted further to discuss with the Primogen here?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Oh, and while we're on the subject, Dr. Ekman had his hands free, right?
Well then.
Dr. Ekman had his hands free, right?
Yes.
While we're on the subject, one more small roll, just in case.
Okay.
One more small roll. This is a Wits plus Crafts roll. Call it a little insurance policy. Nope, doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. It's a moot point.
Okay.
Yeah, my character just tried to roll a quick little quantum entanglement roll to establish an entanglement with the chair that he was sitting on. This way, when David can listen in, since there's a bug in his office, Dr. Ekman has a bug on the Nosferatu. Everything's fine, but it didn't work out, so it's a moot point.
Okay. All right. Probably it might not last long either, but anyway.
No, entanglements last long. It's wormholes that don't last.
Yeah.
Quantum entanglement lasts. It's
That's
the worm.
not what I meant. Anyway.
Yeah.
The chair might have been removed from the haven.
Oh yeah, good point. The chair might have been removed anyway.
Uh-huh. Chair is easily moved as one point to that. Anyway.
Anyway, so yeah, it's a moot point.
If our business here is concluded, he raises up.
Dr. Ekman nods and smiles.
Annika also nods.
Turns. As soon as you nod, black bag and unconsciousness.
Where do we come to?
And you are dumped. Let's see. I'll let Will make that call.
Will, where do we wind up?
You come to right outside of some McDonald's somewhere. Specifically behind it. The only reason you know why is because you can see the sign up on a pole about 30 or 40 feet in the air. You come to behind that McDonald's, right behind one of the trash dumpsters.
Oh joy. Dr. Ekman checks to find...
Annika smiles and glances at Dr. Ekman. Well, I can definitely say that there was less shit in the sewers we were just in than there is in that place. Nods her head towards McDonald.
Dr. Ekman nods and says, "Not to worry, when the space warp technology becomes fully functional, this will be the first business to go out of business." And with that, Dr. Ekman to pull out his phone, and I'm going to roll manipulation science. I'm going to need 2 manipulation science rolls. One to go back to the lab. Hang on. Yep, that one succeeds at difficulty 8 with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. That's the one to the lab. And I'm going to roll a second one to get back into the ball. After a change of clothes, of course. So after changing clothes, that's another manipulation science. Please tell me this one gets me to the ball. Yup. 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
All right. Now make me a high-low D10 roll.
As to where we landed the ball?
No, it's whether or not the smell is actually completely out of your clothes.
Okay. High-low. Are you calling it high or low?
No, call the roll. I'll make the roll.
Okay, you'll make the roll. I'm gonna go high.
Ha-ha! Look at there.
Woo! Luck. Okay,
Yep,
you're clean.
You
don't
come in
stink.
smelling. You come in smelling like roses and tulips, literally.
Yep. Dr. Ekman and Dr. Ekman.
It seems they were nice enough. It seems they were nice enough to know how you don't particularly care for the smell, so they cleaned it up for you.
Yep. Dr. Ekman and Annika walk back into the ball, literally fall through the ceiling back into the ballroom again. Second,
followed by several people jumping to their feet. You also hear a bit of glass shatter. As you land there on the dance floor, you see that a wine glass has been broken and a bit of vitae is laying on the dance floor.
Oh,
Insert
crap.
blood on the dance floor. Insert blood on the dance floor joke here.
Yep. Dr. Ekman says, well, I wasn't expecting blood on the dance floor quite literally, but whatever works.
Annika
Thankfully,
shakes her head.
None of us hungry.
Pardon?
Said, thankfully, we're none of us hungry,
Yep.
so nobody freaks out.
Yep.
The acting
How does
prince.
Biltmore react? How does Biltmore react the second time?
We'll look at the wine glass. He's completely ignored you entering, and we'll look at the wine glass, snap his fingers, and somebody with a rag and a dustpan will actually go over and clean it up.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'll turn to Cal. Ekman,
Yes, my liege?
that's twice. That is twice tonight. Do not let it time.
Well, you're cutting out. Can you repeat that? Your audio cut out.
All right, I'll try this again. Jeremiah will look at you. Ekman, that's twice tonight. Do not let it happen a third time.
Yes, my liege, I'll come by the front door next time.
Good choice.
Going to make a fake
You'll
dice roll to see if
snap his
I'm
fingers and the
actually
music will
still.
start again.
Pardon?
Go ahead, Josh.
He'll snap
Alright,
his
gotta
fingers
make a
and the
fake dice
music will
roll to
start.
see if
Go
I'm.
ahead, Josh.
Alright. Yeah. Gonna make a fake dice roll to see if I'm actually at the ball still. And basically, based on whether it's a success or not, I'm still there. And it's a botch. I already left.
All right, cool. Like I said, you still have that. You still have that envelope from Marquez.
Yep. Which I'm definitely gonna look over.
All right. As you break the clasp on it and you begin pulling out the paperwork, there's a very professionally written letter addressed to and add to a name that you don't recognize, and the return address is from an address that you don't recognize. And by reading the letter says nothing of the sort of what he wants you to do, but you're able to read between the lines that he's putting surveillance on Ekman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Also included in the envelope is a check worth 2 favors.
Mm-hmm. Aha. Well, man, He's probably thinking inner monologue wise, I've never gotten paid twice for the same job. Alright, well. So he's just gonna tuck that away and probably stick the check in his breast pocket and make his way out into the night. Because that much was inopportune. And you know where I'm heading, Will, to investigate that other situation.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, the text, and it's now that text comes through on your phone.
Mm-hmm. I'll look down at it, and yeah, my eyes will kind of go wide. And that's when we're heading in that direction to kind of investigate the happenings there.
So you literally have you have literally like about a 2.5 mile drive to get there.
Yeah.
Which we will cover that in a different scene coming up here in a couple of minutes.
And with that, thanks again, everybody.